Architecture is not a one man show. It takes 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. One of our projects took us 13 years.
Oh my God, yeah.
Your design, you are actually going to kind of convince somebody, or it's not going to, you're going to build it on yourself, right? So you kind of have to deal with corporations, institutions, individuals.
At the end of the day, you're building. Your creation is going to be, seen out there and is going to talk about you.
Hello everyone, today in Copperpod and Rubaru with Rupali, we are at Pentaspace Design Studios. So this is a wonderful organization which has 4 of its directors and co-partners who are heading this organization. And we are going to meet architect Gaurav Sanghavi and architect Harsh Pote, who are the 2 directors here. And they are going to have a wonderful discussion on how they have compiled and formulated this organization. We also are going to interview Vikrant Kasar, who is an alumni of Asmita College of Architecture and working here, and you will understand with how much of dedication, intensity and love has this organization been formed. So let us understand the journey of these wonderful architects today with us. Hi everyone, so here we are to understand how a wonderful collaboration that began as a student in the college as academics and how they have moved ahead to form this wonderful Pentaspace, right? Pentaspace as an organization is a wonderful story which I'm sure will inspire many. So let us meet architect Gaurav Sanghavi and architect Harsh.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Right.
Hello, guys.
We are going to begin a conversation which is going to be very different than all our other podcasts because this is a team, a very strong team of 4 dynamic uh, collaborators who have brought this organization to a different level, and not individually 4, I must say, but as a team, as a whole culture and a thought process that goes right from them to the lowest person, the lowest intern who is working here as an in their projects. So I'll begin with you,
Yes.
Gaurav. The fact is, one thing when you said that you did your undergraduation from academy and you went, you chose management for your masters. I think that was a wonderful thought. It shows your maturity when you began thinking of what you have to do once you become an architect. Can you just
Yeah, surely. So it was, I think, post the architectural, I think, the 5 years of architecture, the rigor of architecture. I think the idea was to kind of understand that, with this knowledge, where I'm going to kind of place myself out there. And even as an architect, your design, you are actually going to kind of convince somebody, or it's not going to, you're going to build it on yourself, right? So you kind of have to deal with corporations, institutions, individuals. So that's soft skills which are there, in terms of management of yourself, how you're going to kind of present to others and kind of convince them. That is something which, I felt that could really add value to your concepts. So one is your concepts, and you passionately kind of push it out there. But that is only one part of the story. But how do you push it out there, which is convincing enough, and the other person kind of, in his language. So I think I joined management to understand my client's language more than, my language, and kind of position the concept in a way that I can convince the client uh, otherwise, that, this is the best solution for your project. So I think that at the management school, what you learn is non-replaceable. And I urge all students to do management for sure if they want to kind of set up their own practice.
lovely. When did you join the management master's course?
I think immediately after, yes, it was immediately after I passed out. So I did it from NMIMS. So I gave my NMAT, And I think that kind of set the journey, in place. So a lot of marketing concepts, a lot of HR concepts, a lot of human relation concepts which are there. So I think it's a very important part to know when you're running a business.
Very true, which we are not actually introduced to in the entire 5 long, because architecture itself is such a holistic profession and vast that to yeah. Can you tell us how was your journey? How did you decide after graduating what should be your first step?
So after graduation, actually, it's a very funny story because while we were all together in college, since so we were from first year we were together,
Classmate,
but
yeah.
after classmate, but after third year, we we really the bond really concretized. We did a lot of competitions, won a lot of competitions, and then at the end of the fourth year, fifth year, we knew that okay, we would like to work with each other professionally because the things were coming together, we were all gelling together, and we were complementing each other. So I think we did a year of a stunt of having our own practice.
Is it? That was when?
Right, immediately. And actually, we could understand where are the shortcomings.
Oh, lovely.
So I always advise, students that immediately after your graduation, please join a studio. 5 plus 5, 5 years of education and 5 years of professional practice at a studio is must. It's necessary to understand the logic of the entire architecture in its whole sum.
Yeah.
It's a true sense because you are done with the theory, but what actually happens in a practical life, and you have to face a lot of problems, how you overcome it, and that only possible if you work in a studio. Because every day there are new challenges, and you still coming up with a new solutions to it.
Yes, yes. I think this was a wonderful point, both of you, that you mentioned. I must tell the students here, all of us have experienced during our college, that we are a team somewhere. And we, as you rightly said when we were talking earlier, that we know the traits, the plus and minus of each one of us. कि मैं ये कर सकता हूँ तो ये अच्छे से ये कर सकेगा. And then that is a time you strategize कि जब competition level को पहुंचना है तो किसको क्या role देना है.
That's what we were very, very clear. So many competitions, so everybody's role was kind of very, very defined. So it was very exciting that way. Yes.
And when they took it ahead, they knew that it was developed, that understanding was developed there. And especially that role play which you said was really interesting, to let us understand where we are and what we can do.
So basically, the castle which we built kind of crashed in the first year. That is how I'll put it. And the romance of architecture kind of went out of the window. We had to become more practical. I think we had to understand business, how we're going to run it. And that, I think that maturity kind of really helped us, so that, when you kind of go out there, learn, hone your skills, and, and then you kind of establish your studio.
So during this experience of yours, had you joined management?
Yes, I joined it immediately.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how was your journey after your graduation? So after this role play, then you were first, I think you, both of you separately did your, took your practical experience.
So failure is stepping stone. That is true in our case.
Wonderful.
Then till now. So, but then we together we decided. So we didn't part away again. Yes. Even after facing a failure, we didn't part away. So what we decided, let's do one thing. Let's everyone do their own bit. Somebody wants to do somebody wanted to do study. Somebody wanted to join a studio. Let us do it. Let us come back again. So that was a plan on day one. So likewise, I started my practice with OS2 architects. So there were 3 architects. So one was an Indian counterpart, then there was a German guy, and then there was a Mexican guy. So I did practice there. For 2 years, I did a practice there. While doing that, I also did my MBA in Xavier's.
Okay.
So I used to do, morning to evening the office, and then I used to do evening to night the MBA course at JDS. So that's what I think.
That was again a 2-year course or 1 year?
Again, a 2-year course. 2-year course. That was a 2-year course, and yeah, that is what, as Gaurav also said, I really couldn't agree more to that. That man, after having an architectural theory or a college, one should always look at doing some managerial course where it, on a first note, it you starts getting, or you can manage yourself. You know how to manage yourself. Lot of times we see that people flow into the romance of architecture. See, that's a one way of looking at it. uh, there can be a laid back architecture. It is depending upon person to person, how they want to go ahead or progress ahead in the life or a professional practice. But for for common students, or the students who want to do a commercial architectural and who believe in hustle of architecture, I always advise do a managerial.
Definitely. And it is so well proven seeing your organization right now where you have taken it along with your team. I would really want you, Gaurav, to just give a quite quick briefing about how you began, what roles do you play in this organization, and what is your thought behind taking it to where it is right now.
So I think four of us, I think we are very diverse in all aspects, I would say, which is the best part, right? So if you do a SWOT, we'll all fit into four different corners, right? So I personally look into planning, conceptualization. That is my strength, and that is what I used to do even in college. I think Harsh's strength is always been, development of design, elevations. I think he has that knack of, proportions in ways which are, very nice. Yes. So I think he has that, and he kind of plays with that a lot. Uh, Bhakti, and a third partner, she is into interiors, so she handles the interior division. And Pragya, who's a fourth partner, uh, she is, again, she's an architect. Then she did NICMA. She did her business, construction management, project management, and then she went IIM. So she is even into the complete business aspect of architecture. So I think she adds the business acumen to our firm, right? So that kind of keeps us focused on what we do, I think. So I think all four of us kind of play on each other's traits, and that was the core of setting the seed of Pentaspace, I think. And post that, I think, yes, the team which we kind of develop with, we nurture it a lot. We a lot of love, a lot of energy we kind of put into our team, because we don't say that they are teammates, they're more like family which we're kind of growing. And I think that kind of resonates. That's the culture which you want to resonate, because architecture is not a one man show. Yeah, it's a if you really want to make an impact out there, you need a very strong team, right? So I think that is what we invest in a lot. I think that's the culture which we four always believed in, and I think that is what we kind of advocate. That it's a profession which is a teamwork.
Wonderful. I must tell the audience here that most of the teammates here have been my alumni students, and the way they have grown here in this organization definitely shows your effort in grooming them, because otherwise it is not possible. You really switch jobs, you try to move and pursue and find many things, but somewhere the one who has a zeal and a dedication, and as you said, that spark, that we realize that he really wants to do it, and then he's or she is all yours, and when you groom her to reach that level, which is so important. Not all organizations reach up to the teams so often, or be a part in their grooming. They're so occupied otherwise outside, but if this is what you believe in strongly, you will see to it, because you can't then just move ahead
No, we're very hands-on. So I think any team member can really approach us at any point. I think we are open to ideas, very, very flexible to that. And I think that is if you see our work also, it kind of resonates that, right? There is no typical style of architecture as such which we follow or we propagate. It is a very, very fluid kind of a thought process where we, kind of inculcate the concept at the concept level. We kind of push it out there that, let's kind of build something interesting on this project. And I think we open it up to the studio that, anybody is free to kind of give that idea, give that spark, or give that thought process. And then we kind of help them channelize that, and then the teams kind of take it ahead. So it's a very democratic way of design which we have. Yes, it is laborious. I think it's time consuming,
Of course.
but I think we have a system which kind of, we can move it in that. And I think that is what kind of gets us doing buildings which we want to do and what we have done.
Yes, I must urge all to visit their website and see, because really diverse projects, very, very in different fields they have explored, and the expertise is seen, which is really appreciable. And kudos to both of you.
In a funny way, it is more like a sabka saath, sabka vishwas, sabka prayas.
So true, so true. So yeah, and I would also like to know what are your current projects, that the upcoming projects.
So, very excited. Overall, throughout the India, it's the best time for architects to practice because country is going at a phenomenal pace. There's a lot of requirement of a new, fresh ideas which architects can bring onto the table. So currently, what we are working on all high in all typology, be it residential, be it commercial, retail, institutional projects, hospitality. So Pentaspace Design Studio is covering all these works. In residential, we are doing right from skyscrapers to low rise. Even we are doing single housing. We are doing layouts. We are doing villas. In commercial projects, we are doing a lot of office buildings, high rise, mid rise, hospitality. Hospitality, we are doing a lot of resorts. In institutional projects, we are doing a lot of schools, campuses. So to name few, we are doing almost 200 meter, that is 60-story towers in Bombay. Yeah. So I would not like to disclose right now the
I
details of it.
understand, yeah.
But yeah, right from 200, 250 meters towers.
And what is, how many team members do you have along with your working staff?
We were 55 of us.
Whoa,
Yeah, so it's a
amazing.
nice young team which we have.
Wow.
And I think I love
Yeah,
my team.
I can see that from the moment I have entered the space, you realize the belongingness that you get. Because the minute you are involved with the team, you realize everyone owns up. Everyone owns up.
Yeah, I tell them that it's your ownership of a project, right? It's a mini marriage. Any project goes through a 5 year cycle. So if you're not like invested into it, you're not going to get anything out of it, and nor you'll be able to give anything into it, right? So I think the belonging, the ownership is what we are very, very keen on. And I think that is what I think my team kind of takes it, that I tell them that this is your project and tell us how we want to do it. So I think that is how we kind of, that's how we design.
Of course, uh, guys, I must say a team of 55 and maximum young architects, they are all open to, grooming them, and the confidence with which both of them are speaking about, yes, we have this young team and we are so proud. I have really experienced it. That is so true. And it takes a humongous effort, and it takes a feeling, or that wo ichha man se honi chahiye, it's not superficial. So what you thought at that initial level of your college, and how you, shaped your dream, you're really living that.
So there's a lot of sacrifice.
I can understand. Yeah.
So I remember four of us have always had fights in the start that, I was very, very clear that we don't do interiors in the start of our career. We kind of focus on architecture. I think interiors definitely cash flow wise is a very, very lucrative kind of um, avenue. But then I said, no, let's just all four of us kind of focus on architecture first, right? Let's set up a brand in place, and then all four, whatever, all three, whatever we want to do, we can then pursue it through that umbrella, right? So that is how we kind of structured it. So now, I think few years back, we set up our interior studio.
Okay.
Yeah, which was an independent interior studio. So we definitely did our own interiors, but now we're doing commercial interiors, we're doing a lot of interiors, right? So now that partner Bhakti is kind of happy that, okay, now I'm doing interiors, right? So similarly, Pragya now is trying to understand the business aspects of it, right? So she kind of makes sure that the profitability is in place, the numbers are in place. So from business development, now she's gone into complete management of, an expansion. Where are the other areas of growth and all of those aspects, right? Which she wants to do, right? So that's how we kind of, now everybody is in a position where they can kind of explore their own identities within architecture. But now the brand is set, so we can kind of take that liberty to kind of develop those individually rather than doing it earlier, because that energy would have kind of got dissipated, right? So it was a very thought through thing. Lot of sacrifice in that, because financially it was a lot of strain on four of us, right? So I think, but it is paying out now.
Of course, it is paying out. Yeah. Uh, This, the thing that you mentioned, that interiors, we were earlier also, we were speaking, and it is so true, because mm, 5 years is a long course already. The minute you move out, you think now you should start earning, because most of your friends who are pursuing other professions are already,
Yes,
got their
and their packages.
packages. And then we suddenly feel, okay, interior mein chalo, we are getting fast money. And somewhere, yes, you get so many projects in interiors that you just completely then get drowned in it without thinking of what you have to do architecturally. So that was a very interesting and very important thought which you have shared, Gaurav. I'm sure the students will benefit immensely with what you both are sharing, because these are all experiences which they must have gone through. So, to pause and look back, that yes, what should I do now?
I think why I would advise students not to start doing interiors at day one. Uh, with architecture practice and doing architecture, your scale somehow opens up.
Yes,
The scale of anything, perceiving the space in practicality, it opens up.
yes.
So that's why
I
I think
agree.
it's very necessary. You develop your own palette, your choice. You can see how things develop, you know. So from macro, you can come then to the micro. So from larger space, then you can come down to a smaller space. I think that approach really helps, rather than, because if you start doing only things at a very small space, then to again pursue bigger space, it becomes little difficult journey. So I would always advise people to, do that.
Great. How did you fetch your clientele? What was that experience?
So I think it's the first client, right? So when we came out, I think the first client we kind of spoke to was a guy who was wanting to make a building in Villepale. And we went to him. My dad introduced me to him. So, and then we both just went to him. We were just fresh, fresh crop out of a bigger practice. And we told him that, sir, if you give us this, we will be able to kind of deliver. So he said, what all you will do? So we said, sir, we'll do all of this. We'll supervise, we'll do this, we'll do that, everything. Right. And luckily, his son and also come from abroad. Okay. Was of a similar age. Right. And he was also want to set up into his father's business. Right. So I think that equation kind of really set us up. Right. And that was the first building which we did, where I would say that we put money into the building, because I don't think the fee was this, but he was taking a risk, right? Yeah. So I think he took that chance. Then he gave us a bigger project. And I think that journey, I think organically then it started word of mouth, and we were out there, right? So I think Pragya was again doing business development at that point. So I think we kind of one project at a time, and I think yes, so that is, it's a project at a time.
Right.
It's a slow, patient
Of
process.
course, slow patient.
So as a principal, actually what happens is that when we left our practice, we didn't take any client of ours from previous office. So that was a one principle we stick to. We said we will fight our own battles. We will do our own struggle.
Yeah, that is the integrity.
Because
that
that struggle will give, that you will always remember.
Absolutely.
There is no shortcut.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because a shortcut always has a loophole, right? So it will catch up to you. The best thing is to kind of make sure that you build your own client, because that confidence you'll see through that otherwise.
And within that battle, you'll fail, you struggle, there will be a lot of fights, there will be a lot of things.
Yes.
Still, you will, be together.
Yeah.
That will be a journey.
Yeah, that's a journey. Which like we like kind of sometimes we sit and we like,
Ponder
boss,
और क्या क्या किया कितने
क्या
झगड़े
क्या
किए
नहीं किया, वैसा वाला है वो चीज. People took our designs and went away, and we were like sitting and we were like, Arey. So there were so many instances, right? So many buildings and so many different clients, different experiences. We kind of can sit and write and we'll be like, boss, amazing.
I think you asked that how did you find your clients?
हाँ.
So probably you have to do you will have to probably get a news who's doing what. Okay, this guy is doing
Yeah,
this.
keep yourself updated.
And then you can have your own proposal and just tell them that I want to present my idea. Present your idea to them. You might not get that project, but at least you get a connect.
Right.
So that guy will remember you. Okay, if he judged you, and then if he feels that okay, this project of mine, I can I can give I can commission this project to this architect, and I can see what he can do about it. So that's how slowly.
It's a relationship building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somewhere this integrity, discipline, everything matters. It doesn't go unnoticed. Whether you got the project or no, it doesn't go unnoticed because you remember those few characteristics and you feel that okay, sab kuch aur project hoga to I'll again call them.
100%. Yeah.
This has.
So in the beginning, you can't sit at the studio or office. You have to keep moving, keep interacting with people, go go with for different forums.
Yeah. This is important again,
Different
right?
forums.
Be in the fraternity, in the field.
See, you have to be vulnerable. Then only you can learn. You have to put yourself out there.
Right.
And you have to go through all shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think you have to be ready for it, right?
Yeah.
There will be a hit and miss in projects, right? So, but through the hit and miss, you will kind of understand where you're missing, and then you kind of build on that. So there will be more misses, lesser hits, but over a period of time, if you learn, there'll be lesser misses and more hits. So I think it's a long drawn process, and I think you have to be out there ready to take that fight on. And if you are in a team, it really helps because there are bad days, good days to one person. Similarly, there could be a good day, bad day to the other person, but it's always kind of balancing it out, right? So I think that actually kept us going. I would say.
So true.
Right? Because like sometimes you feel then say, no, we had discussed this. Why don't we, stick to? So I think that encouragement and that is something when you are in a bad space, because it's a long drawn project, right? It takes 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. One of our projects took us 13 years.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right? So forget the fees which you must have quoted 13 years back, but it's just to persevere behind that project for 13 years to make sure that the dream comes true itself is a big thing. So I think yes.
Absolutely.
I think I read a very beautiful line or I heard about it. that for any architect, 10 o'clock he can be a poet. 11 o'clock he should be a storyteller. But 12 o'clock onwards, he should be a builder. He should build. He should, he should have that capacity that I want to make something. Because at the end of the day, you're building. Your creation is going to be, seen out there and is going to talk about you.
Yeah. As you earlier said that, our profession is such that it is generations who are going to be in the building and experience it. That was so well said. So you're going to make something for almost a lifetime that you're going to build, and then the experiences count. I think even I have seen your competitions and the prizes that you have won. Amazing. I mean, right from 2013 or, earlier also, there is a huge list of competitions. Those must have also helped in moving ahead. How do you?
I think they kind of calibrate you every time. It's we use competitions to calibrate ourselves. That is how I see it, right? So are you relevant? You're not relevant. Are your ideas relevant? You're not relevant. Are you thinking out of the box? You're not thinking out of the box. Are you, giving a solution, or you just, not being able to give a solution? So I think competitions kind of calibrate you. And I think we take it as that point. Yes.
And actually, in the competitions, you get to know your contemporaries on that one common subject, how everyone is, responding.
Yes.
So you get to learn a lot of things.
I mean, somewhere you understand all those at that one level जहाँ पे सब आए हैं वो competition में, हर एक का thought कैसे चल रहा है, how we are, yeah, wonderful, right?
What, tell more than winning, that
So true. Yeah, it's your
communication.
learning and research that happens, at which should also parallelly go on. Wow. One advice to the students that you have to give, or the young architects, what do you feel?
So there are a lot of it. One very relevant if I have to say, and a practical one, day-to-day life or something like that, that don't fall for your design, don't fall in love with your design. Keep developing it, keep experimenting it. Somebody criticize it, take it in a positive way and see how you build on it. So that can be one short.
Of course, but very important because this is what they have been facing all 5 years. And plus now moving ahead, अब तो professors छोड़ो, अब तो clients आएंगे and competition में जो खड़े रहेंगे, possibly architect हो नहीं हो, but they will have their opinion.
100%. So this one thing Pentaspace always keeps in mind is that we chose not to be arrogant about our architecture.
Yeah, good you took up this point. We discussed about the ego.
I was going to touch exactly on this because I feel the humility with which you can respect your profession. I think that is the biggest takeaway for any student. Respect your profession, believe in yourself, be patient, sky's the limit.
Perfect. Yes, and these are all experienced who have really gone through that phase and moved ahead. So yes, these two are very important advices. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, Gaurav and Harsh. I'm so glad that I'm going to have a part 2 as we discussed.
Yeah.
Because your
With our
better
better
halves,
halves.
yes, your better halves have been, so yeah, obviously. And the question that the roles that they played and how during the tough times, the hits, the misses, and all these areas
Financially, yes, a lot of emotions, they have also gone through.
True.
Right?
And somewhere the dynamics change when it comes to a woman architecture. And we talk a lot about, the entrepreneurship, but the challenges are different, everywhere, you feel some sentiments you don't want to lose and still you want to hold on to the career, and it gives a very different dynamics when it comes to them. So yes, part 2 is on. We have to soon have a part 2 with the other two directors of Pentaspace, and I'm sure they are again going to be amazing as these two who have put up their heart out in this short period wherever they could feel. And I must say, I must thank you, because what you pinpoint is exactly what is the requirement of the students or the younger architects which the podcast intends to. So thank you very much. All the very best from Copperpod to you both and Pentaspace and your entire team.
Thanks a lot. Means a lot. And
And ma'am, you've groomed a lot of students who are working architects in our studio. So thank you for that.
Thank you for taking them under your wings and being the wind beneath their wings, because I feel so happy when I see that the culture that you have built. You know, these are these are the thoughts which are very easy to forego, saying that, oh, we are too occupied, we uh, loved or we intended to do it, but now we are not able to. It's very easy to give this reason, but you have surpassed all that and you still hold their hands and move ahead, which is amazing.
I
Hats
think
off.
it's our duty. It's our duty.
Exactly, that is how it comes from the
Duty towards architecture, actually, more than duty towards the.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yes.
Thank you.